So it's pretty often that we end up talking about the different effects from smoking, vaping, edibles, that type of thing. But one thing that I try to maintain is that every different person is going to have a different experience. No matter what you tell them, it's hard to tell somebody how they're going to feel from something that they smoke, vape, or eat. But one thing that I get asked about from time to time is there a difference between sativa and indica edibles? Now, before we get into it, I'm doing a huge edible stream August 1st, 8/1, live on Twitch. Don't miss it. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. But tune in any night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and we're getting lit. But as long as I've been going into legal shops, I've been seeing sativa and indica edibles. And I learned that early on, you got to be careful. There's a lot of brands out there, they're putting the same distillate in both, and it's literally identical. Like, they might have a different flavor for the indica ones, but some people are putting identical distillate into both the sativa and indica. They're not taking other cannabinoids into account. It's really, let's just give you some options, even though they're all the same. This is something that happens with carts. It happens with other things, but you gotta be careful. You can find some people making strain-specific edibles, and maybe they did a better job extracting the specific cannabinoids and terpenes. But for the most part, you're not really going to feel too much of a difference in effects. Now, I've talked about this before, but if you take the same edible dose 10 times, but you do it at different days or different times in the day, you're going to have 10 different experiences. You're not going to recreate the same high 10 times over. It's not really how it works. I've always thought it was funny trying to talk about sativa high versus indica high when you're talking about edibles, because if you eat a ton of them, you're locked in the couch, bro. You eat a lot. You're not going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to go clean my kitchen and then my neighbor's kitchen, I got all this sativa inside of me. You eat a ton of edibles, sativa or indica, you might be out for a little while. Most people get an indica type effect from edibles in general. It's sedating, it's relaxing, it makes you a whole body high. I've had like the craziest couch lock ever off of edibles. But some people, you take a smaller amount of edibles earlier in the day, you're gonna get more of that sativa type effect or what you feel. It's always important to remind people that there's no way to measure sativa or indica. There's no test that you can run that's gonna come back with the results like, yeah, this came back 80% indica. They're making those numbers up. They're assigning them. There's some information that goes into it. They're not just like flipping a coin and going, all right, we're going to call it 70-30, or they're not hitting a randomizer button. But it's not based off of scientific tests. It's not based off of lab tests and results. It's more so how the plant looks, or maybe how some people that smoked it felt. But a lot of the times when you're getting edibles, you're just getting trim distillate in there. A lot of the time, you're just getting trim distillate in there. It's like the cheapest of the cheapest. It's like the lowest tier stuff that you can put in the edibles, because you know what? You can't see it. You can't see the flower that goes into edibles. Almost nobody's putting the good stuff in them. If you saw the flower, you saw the trim that went into some of the edibles that you've eaten, you might try to go back in time and uneat that. And another thing that you gotta watch out for is some of these companies will call it like a sativa edible, but they put like caffeine or something in there. They put like green tea extract or something in there, and that's going to give you additional effects on top of whatever the distillate is. Like, some people are putting valerian or melatonin in their edibles and calling them indica. It's like, you just take an edible and take some melatonin if that's what you want. So for the most part, the effects that you're gonna feel from the edibles, it varies. It depends on you, what you've ate during the day, where your tolerance is at. It's hard to tell somebody what their first time with edibles is gonna be like. It's hard to tell somebody what their 10th time with edibles is gonna be like. It's not as easy of an experience to gauge for most people. And really, you just gotta watch out for these shops. They're always trying to sell you more, or trying to make it seem like you have more variety than you do, because you're more likely to buy stuff if you have choices. Oh no, I can't do that. It makes me freak out, so I gotta do that one. They're the same one. Either way, come get high with me on Twitch. The sesh starts at 9 p.m. Eastern.